The FTC has decided to sue Microsoft about the Activision Blizzard deal. This is actually happening. This isn't rumor. This is an official statement on the FTC website. And Microsoft has responded. They are ready to play ball. Let's see where this thing's going right now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. This is a doozy. Wow. So the FTC has said they are blocking Microsoft Corp's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. I haven't read this yet, so we're going to read through it together in real time. The agency alleges that the maker of Xbox would gain control of top video game franchises, enabling it to harm competition in high-performance gaming consoles and subscription services by denying or degrading rivals' access to popular content. You are going to get absolutely destroyed in court, FTC. Microsoft is ready to go, and these weak ass talking points, I just think you're done. This is dead on arrival. Lena Khan is not going to have a good time with this. So this is just going to be amazing content for me for the next few days. But let's talk about this. The Federal Trade Commission is seeking to block technology giant Microsoft Corp from acquiring leading video game developer Activision Blizzard and its blockbuster gaming franchises such as Call of Duty, alleging that the $69 billion deal, Microsoft's largest ever and the largest ever in the video game industry, would enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox gaming consoles and its rapidly growing subscription content and cloud gaming business. It's so interesting that Microsoft secures exclusives in a different way from Sony. They just have no comment about what Sony's done over the last few years, and it's only what Microsoft has done, even though they have remained in last place. They're still under the lens of scrutiny from the FTC, right? Very, very interesting stuff. I want to have a few other tweets ready because there are responses from Activision. There's responses from Microsoft. Let's keep going. In a complaint issued today, the FTC pointed to Microsoft's record of acquiring and using valuable gaming content to suppress competition from rival consoles, including its acquisition of ZeniMax, parent company of Bethesda Softworks, a well-known game developer. Microsoft decided to make several Bethesda's titles, including Starfield and Redfall, Microsoft exclusive, despite assurances it gave to European antitrust authorities that it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. Microsoft has already shown that it can withhold content from its gaming rivals, said Holly Vadova, director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition. Today, we seek to stop Microsoft from gaining control over a leading independent game studio and using it to harm competition in multiple dynamic and fast-growing gaming markets. So one of the tweets that was brought up was about when they withheld it. They said how Microsoft is committed to growing game communities. Here we go. If we acquire a game that comes with a big community across multiple platforms, the last thing we want to do is take something away. If anything, we feel it's our job to be caretakers, to continue to build and nurture that community, not cut it up into pieces and try and take some of it away. That was on June 9th, 2022. That was this year. So I suppose they're using that as reference to the Bethesda merger. Our commitments for ZeniMax. Microsoft announced the acquisition of ZeniMax on September 21st, 2020. Microsoft closed the acquisition of ZeniMax Media on March 9, 2021. ZeniMax included 8 game development studios: Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog Mobile Games, and Roundhouse Studios. Shortly after the acquisition was announced, Bloomberg recorded the following on the availability of new ZeniMax Media games going forward. Bethesda had previously agreed to debut 2 of its upcoming games, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, on Sony's new PlayStation rather than Xbox. Both games were announced as timed console exclusives, meaning that they would be restricted to the PlayStation 5 for a fixed period of time before coming to Xbox. Microsoft will keep that commitment, Spencer said in an interview. Future games, like Starfield, will be available for Xbox, PC, and Microsoft's Game Pass video game service. We'll take other consoles on a case-by-case basis, Spencer said. That was in September 21st, 2020. So I'm not sure where these assurances were made. The deal closed in 2021. In 2020, they said games like Starfield would be made exclusive. So I'm not sure where these assurances were made, but it seems very clear to me that they never said that. Let's continue reading this document. Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax illustrates the company's consistent position on cross-platform play and our commitment to gamers on all platforms. Xbox has continued to ship ZeniMax content on PlayStation and other platforms, and games that were on PlayStation in March 2021 are still available today. Further, Xbox's first 2 ZeniMax releases were, in fact, exclusive to Sony PlayStation 5. For existing games, Microsoft's public commitments were realized. In its merger notice to the European Commission on ZeniMax, Microsoft stated Microsoft will honor all of ZeniMax's obligations to continue to make its current games available on other gaming hardware, including 2 planned console exclusive releases for the Sony PlayStation 5, Deathloop, and Ghostwire Tokyo. That was from January 29, 2021. It further stated Microsoft will not make any existing ZeniMax games exclusive to Xbox. They will continue to be available for purchase for PCs and other gaming hardware for which they are currently available, which will ensure that they continue to be available to current players of those games. Microsoft will not be removing players' access to any current games, no matter where they currently play. So that is existing media. When you're talking about future media, that is the very consistent thing that they have said. They said going forward, those will be made exclusive. For future games, Microsoft also maintained its position. In its merger notice to the European Commission on ZeniMax, Microsoft stated future decisions on whether to distribute ZeniMax games for other consoles will be made on a case-by-case basis, taking into account player demand and sentiment. Factors will not inform Microsoft's decision-making on future games include consumer demand and preference, and the willingness of third parties to work with Microsoft to launch games for their devices. It further stated for future ZeniMax games, Microsoft intends to make these games available for purchase on PC and where the games are designed as native mobile games on mobile devices running both iOS and Android. So continuing through this document, it is very clear that Microsoft has their ducks in a row. They are ready to go toe-to-toe with the FTC on this, and they are going to do exactly that. Let's continue reading the FTC statement. Microsoft's Xbox Series S and X are one of only 2 types of high-performance video game consoles. Importantly, Microsoft also offers a leading video game content subscription service called Xbox Game Pass, as well as cutting-edge cloud-based video game streaming service, according to the complaint. So just to recap, this has basically been destroyed already because that's not what they said, and they already have that outlined. Activision is one of only a very small number of top video game developers in the world that create and publish high-quality video games for multiple devices, including video game consoles, PCs, and mobile devices. It produces some of the most iconic and popular video game titles, including Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch, and has a combined 154 million monthly active users around the world. According to the FTC's complaint, Activision currently has a strategy of offering its games on many devices regardless of producer. But that could change if the deal is allowed to proceed. With control over Activision's blockbuster franchises, Microsoft would have both the means and motive to harm competition by manipulating Activision's pricing, degrading Activision's game quality or player experience on rival consoles and gaming services, changing the terms and timing of access to Activision content or withholding content from competitors entirely, resulting in harm to consumers. Fun fact, Microsoft literally just extended a 10-year agreement to Sony. They extended a 10-year agreement to Nintendo. They extended a 10-year agreement to Valve. And Valve said, you know what? We don't even need an agreement because we actually trust Microsoft, and they have no incentive to do any of these things. The FTC, again, is going to get shredded in court about this. Everybody has been saying, FTC, hey, you don't want to bring this to court. You're going to get destroyed. And here we are. The commission vote to issue the complaint was 3-1, with Commissioner Christine S. Wilson voting no. Good job, Christine. A copy on the administrative complaint will be available shortly. The commission issues an administrative complaint when it has reason to believe that the law has been or is being violated. It's not. And it appears to the commission that a proceeding is in the public interest. The assurance of the administrative complaint marks the beginning of a proceeding in which the allegations will be tried in a formal hearing before an administrative law judge. The FTC works to promote competition and protect and educate consumers. So you're telling me that Microsoft offering Call of Duty to more places is you protecting competition? Like, no, that's just hilarious. And protect and educate consumers. You can learn more about how the competition benefits consumers or file an antitrust complaint. For your latest news and resources, follow, subscribe, whatever. Wow. So what has Microsoft had to say about this? They've actually publicly commented, believe it or not. We will continue to believe that our deal to acquire Activision Blizzard will expand competition and create more opportunities for gamers and game developers. We have been committed since day one to addressing competition concerns, including by offering earlier this week proposed concessions to the FTC. I told you. I guess that meeting that Brad had with FTC did not go well. And all that stuff that they were doing ahead of this meeting did not go over well. The FTC has still decided to sue. While we believe in giving peace a chance, we have complete confidence in our case and welcome the opportunity to present it in court. Microsoft is not giving up on this, and they're going to win. There's no way they lose this. When Microsoft was actually the market leader and they got sued, you know what happened? The FTC said, you have to separate things a little bit. And they did that and nothing changed. So this is not a good look. Now, there have been a few other comments from people. Let me see where I want to go next. So Shannon Liao said, exclusive, the FTC is suing to block Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. Microsoft has not seen such a serious regulatory threat to its business in more than 2 decades. That's right. So the last time was when Netscape Navigator wanted to charge you to use its browser on computers, but Internet Explorer was free. And they were like, we don't like that. So, yeah. Grubb said, bringing down the power of the federal government to ensure that Bobby Kotick remains in charge of thousands of workers. Hell yeah. Right? So basically, Microsoft would have taken over. The belief is that Bobby Kotick would be out. Bobby Kotick is the one that everybody has been pointing their finger at when it comes to having somebody to blame for everything that has been going on here. And yeah. So there's that. I also have a little bit of a video from one of the podcasts. This popped up on my feed. Let's hear what it says here really quick. I'll bring up the asset. J-Rock posted this.
There's really only been one major opposer to the deal, and it's Sony. And Sony's trying to protect their dominance on console. And the way they grow is by making Xbox smaller. They have a very different view of the industry than we do. They don't ship their games day and date on PC. They don't put their games into the subscription when they launch their games. They're starting to think about mobile, as I see from the outside, just kind of reading some of the moves that they're doing. But because Sony's leading all of the dialogue around why this deal shouldn't go through to protect their dominant position in console, the thing that they grab onto is Call of Duty.
So you can watch that full clip. I'll link to it in the description. But yeah, long and short of it, all of these talking points are directly from Sony. These regulators have done a terrible job of actually looking objectively because Nintendo says it's fine. Ubisoft says it's fine. EA says it's fine. Activision wants it to happen. Obviously, Microsoft says they want it to happen. Sony presented their case. Microsoft had a tremendously good rebuttal about their case. And now here it is. The FTC is suing to block, and they're going to get destroyed. They're absolutely just going to get crushed in this case. That's my personal opinion about where this is going to go. Now, a few days ago, let me find the quote here exactly. Michael Pachter also commented on this deal and, saying that there's no way the FTC would not take this to court. Lena Khan is smart enough not to take Microsoft to court. Let's hear what he said a few days ago and see if he said anything since.
Basically tell Japan Inc. we're with them and not with Sony?
Not at all. And to be honest, I mean, Sony are behaving like 2-year-olds. They're being big babies about this whole thing. They're number one by a mile. And they're kind of stuck in the old model, which was have exclusive games on your exclusive console and, keep your games off of anybody else's console. So they're protesting the Microsoft acquisition by claiming that Microsoft could pull content off of PlayStation, Call of Duty. And Microsoft is firing back by not only saying,
This is the part we're waiting for.
In court, essentially, in their filings with the regulators, we'll support PlayStation for 10 years, but now we'll support Nintendo for 10 years. We'll support Steam. We'll support anybody. If you want Call of Duty, 10 more years of it. Don't worry about it. So the difference is Microsoft has a new model. That model is streaming subscription, not selling consoles. And the big last week,
To see this deal go through, because I know the ability rule.
Activision shares don't reflect that yet. The market still is skeptical, and I think in court win this one.
Here it is.
Attorney has a 90. Does she litigate a loser? They're giving her no credit for misplaces how much power Lena Khan has, and they misjudge how stupid she could be. I don't think she's stupid, so I'm saying it wrong. They're giving her no credit for actually thinking through her legal position. She has a slam dunk loser in court. So the only question is, does she litigate a loser? And, if you watch crime dramas and you see the district attorney has a 97% conviction rate, that's not because 97% of criminals are guilty. It's because DAs don't bring cases unless they're sure they can win. Lena Khan is not going to court unless she's sure she can win. She cannot win this one. So Brad Smith effectively is going there to tell her that. She's going to understand she can't win, and then she's going to run a victory lap and say, but I got them to put Call of Duty on the Nintendo Switch.
Well, that's not what happened, and apparently they decided to sue. That's Michael Pachter saying they have a slam dunk loser. So we'll be interested to see the commentary around this. And good luck, FTC. I think this now gets challenged in the UK, in the EU. I don't think this goes over well for anybody that challenges it, but time will tell. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think in the comments below? Let me know and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you would like to become a member, I updated the member list. Tons of new members lately. I always post these without ads. So if you don't want ads, become a member, support at the level you want. No ads for you. You click that join button right down there. Thank you so much for watching. Now, yesterday, Brad went to the FTC to make his case, and you can watch that video right here. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to get out of here. Bye for now, everybody.